Good evening, friends. Welcome to another episode of the Story of the Storyteller. Friends, today I am going to deal on OBC reservation in central educational institutes. Friends, as you all know, OBC has to get 27% reservation as per the Mandal Commission recommendations. And 27% OBC reservation should be given in central education institutions like central universities. 40 central universities are there. 27% reservation for faculty should be given in IITs too, IIMs, NITs, IISERs, etc. Friends, but when we really look at what is happening in these central educational institutes, it's a cause of worry for all OBCs in this country. Our Prime Minister who says Sabke Saath, Sabke Vikas, I don't know if OBC belong to this Sabke Saath or belong to that sub, or Mr. Modi thinks OBC is away from out of this Sabke Saath. Friends, recently a RTI was put by one of my friend, Mr. Kiran Kumar, who is president of All India OBC Students Association, and when he asked the government of the day, now what are the OBC reservations given in different central universities, all these 40 central universities, and he asked about what is the strength of OBCs in the professor, associate professor and professor, assistant professor level in other institutes like IIT, IIM and also. It was surprising, my dear friends, when we saw what is happening in the 40 central universities. There are a total of 18,352 sanctioned faculty positions in professor, associate professor and assistant professor category in 40 central universities across the country. Friends, professors 2,498 total sanctioned posts are there, associate professors 5,011 and assistant professors 10,830. As per that, if you look at 27% reservation for OBC. In the professor category, OBC total sanctioned post should be 674. But actual sanctioned post is just 313. Existing posts are 0 in professor. Vacant posts are 304. Percentage of vacant posts are 97.12. Out of total of 2,498 posts, there are just 9 OBC professors. You can imagine what is the percentage. Even 1% of 2,948 means nearly 29 professors should have been. If it is 27%, we should have had 674 professor posts. But the sanctioned post is just 313. And the existing post is 9. So instead of OBC having 674 professors in 40 central universities, we are just having 9. Just imagine the plight of OBCs in this country. And now Mr. Prime Minister Modi, who claims himself to be an OBC, please tell me, have you been fair to the OBC? Is OBC part of Sabke Saath? Is this Sabke Saath, Sabke Vikas? Let us come to associate professor level. Total sanctioned posts is 5,011. That means there are 5,011 posts in all the 40 central universities. If OBCs had to get 27%, the sanctioned post should have been 1,352. But actual sanctioned post is 735. Just 50% of the sanctioned posts. Why this operation, Mr. Modi? Why these operations, Mr. Central HRD Minister, under whom all these central universities come? And existing actual sanctioned post is 735. Existing post is just 38. Not even 1%. 1% of 5,000 means is 50. Not even 1%. That means instead of having 1,352 associate professors in these 40 central universities, we OBCs are having just 38. That means vacant posts are 697. And percentage of vacant posts is 94.82%. Assistant professor level, there are 10,830 posts. 27% is 2924. Actual sanctioned post is 2232. Okay, they have come somewhere near in the assistant professor level. And the existing post is 1327. Here also the vacant posts are 905. Percentage of vacant posts is 40.54%. Just look at the aberration. When it comes to professors, we are not even 1%. Where is 27% that we should have? When it comes to associate professors, we are just about 0.8% or something. When it comes to assistant professor level, we are somewhere around 40-45%. Friends, in spite of the CEI Act 2006 and the subsequent UGC Act of 1956, where 27% reservations have to be given by all universities, central universities, and UGC, since it is an agency under which the grants are given, it has to ensure effective implementation of reservation policy in all the universities that seeks grants from them. Even in October 19, 2020, the UGC has directed all the central university education institutes to implement reservations at all levels, at professor levels, associate professor levels, and assistant professor levels, and see that OBCs are given justice. But I have given you figures. Nowhere OBCs are getting justice. Now let us look at what is the strength of University of Hyderabad. University of Hyderabad has 110 professors. 27% reservation for OBC. Sanctioned post should be 30 professors should have been there in University of Hyderabad. My dear friends, University of Hyderabad has 0 professors from OBC. Let us look at associate professor. 234 associate professor sanctioned posts are there in University of Hyderabad. 27% of 234 means 63 associate professors should have been there. Total associate professors of OBC in University of Hyderabad is again 0. Assistant professors 228. That means 61 OBC assistant professors should be there. There are 37. Hence, if you see, even in University of Hyderabad, there is 0 OBC professors, there are 0 associate professors. When you see what is happening, my dear friends, this is a huge injustice to OBC. These modern educational institutions, which are under Modi's government, are today becoming modern agraharams. The professors and associate professors levels are being, only a certain caste are there in these top level positions. When the top level positions are in the hands of few upper caste, same will be repeated at the PhD levels also. The research scholars will find it difficult to find mentors for them to do their PhDs. Vishwaguru Modi, who wants our through his NAP policies, our universities to be at the level of Vishwagurus. When it comes to gurus on status in these universities, the gurus belong to only one particular caste or one particular community. The gurus don't have OBCs at all, who constitute 55% of the India's population. How can this be Sabke Saath and Sabke Vikas, Mr. Modi? Is this because when there is no representation for OBCs in the professor and associate professor level, and there are 0 associate professors and professors in the University of Hyderabad, and my friend Kiran Kumar has been agitating for months there. No one, the university chancellor has no mind to go there. The NCBC, which is a statutory body, has visited the university and asked the university chancellor to give 27% reservation in all the faculty positions. But the vice chancellor, it seems, has gone to High Court. He damn cares for National Commission for Backward Castes too. BJP, pats their back and, thumps their desk hearts, telling that, we are the ones who put National Commission for Backward Classes. But what is the use when the member of the National OBC Commission goes there and asks the university to implement the reservation for OBC, it fell on deaf ears. Hence, my dear friends, this is the status of OBC in the modern day Agraharams. If this is the state of OBCs in central universities, now think of what will be the status of OBCs in IIMs, IITs, and when my friend has asked under RTI to give what is the representation given to OBCs in IITs, IIMs, the government, the guy who is responsible for replying to that RTI has said, okay, you ask this to the respective heads of those institutes, and because he fears giving those numbers, because once he gives the numbers, this is the status of OBCs in these 40 central universities. Just imagine the position of OBCs in IITs, IIMs, and all these, national institutes of higher learning. It will be pittance. There will be no representation for OBCs at all. Now, what will happen when there are no OBCs in associate professors is when there are no OBCs at associate professors, professors will not be there from OBCs. They give representation to OBCs at assistant professor levels, but they will never give equal representation or 27% representation to OBCs at associate professor levels, because once you become an associate professor, in a matter of time you will become a professor. Once you become a professor, you will get lot of all these VC level positions, administrative positions like registrars, VCs and stuff. This is a huge injustice. This is a huge scam for OBC. The Prime Minister, who claims himself to be an OBC, doesn't have the heart to do justice for 55% population. That is why I said, my dear friends, this government, this Manuvadi government of Modi will keep on targeting people. When they target minorities, the OBCs kept quiet, saying that, we are not minorities, let them target them. Then they started targeting the Dalits. We didn't respond. Then they started targeting the Dalit women. We didn't respond. Then they targeted the Christians. We never responded. Then they target the youth, the students in JNU, then the farmers. At last, today you are seeing they are targeting you. Today, when you don't get your professors, your OBC guys at associate professors, professor levels, number of PhD students who will be affected. They will not get proper mentoring. Or a particular community will be targeting the OBC students among the PhD, those who go for PhD. I have heard so many complaints from my OBC friends who say, sir, they're victimizing us. Normally the upper caste get PhD in 1 year, 2 years, but we after 3 years, 4 years, they're discriminating against us. That is why OBCs have to get their due. They have to get their 27% in all these modern day Agraharams. If we don't get reservation, if we don't get our faculty positions for OBCs in these modern day Agraharams, our students in these institutes will face discrimination at the hands of certain Agraharam heads who are hell-bent in keeping those Agraharams for themselves. Friends, please understand, until and unless we all wake up, we all ask questions to these Manuvadi governments, they will not care for us. I was astonished. In all these modern Agraharams, in all these institutes, the 10% EWS is already, implemented. But 27% reservation for OBCs, that too for 27% for 55% population guys is not implemented even today. Otherwise, how can we have only 9 professors out of, say around, 1 second. Out of 2948 professors across 40 central universities, only 9 OBC professors. Mr. Modi, is this justice for OBC? Out of 5011 associate professors, just 38 professors, associate professors for OBC. Do you mean to say OBCs are duds? They don't have brains to become associate professors and professors? Mr. Modi, if you don't correct these aberrations immediately, we all OBC will come to streets and we will see to that your government will be defeated electorally in the coming elections. Jai Hind.